Hello, I'm Dr. Lipi Roy, and welcome to my show, Health, Humor, and Harmony. Today's topic is deeply misunderstood: incarceration. You're probably wondering, wait, you're a doctor. Why are you talking about people behind bars? So you've heard of medical specialties like cardiology and neurology, right? Well, there's also a specialty known as correctional health. In addition, some of you may remember that my first job in New York was at Rikers Island, where I served as the first chief of addiction medicine at the nation's second largest jail complex. While most of my work involved overseeing treatment and recovery services for people who use substances, I quickly became aware of the acute and chronic medical and psychiatric problems that disproportionately impact incarcerated men and women. In today's show, I'll discuss incarceration and Hollywood, the urgent need for criminal justice reform, and why correctional medicine should matter to you. Let's get started. Jails and prisons have always been portrayed in popular culture, from television shows like Orange is the New Black, Oz, and The Night Of, to films like Shawshank Redemption and The Rock. Hollywood has always been fascinated by the criminal justice system. I'll be honest, before working at Rikers, I received no formal training about correctional health. In fact, when I traveled the country speaking about incarceration, I would tell audiences, everything I knew about Rikers, I learned from years and years and years of watching Law and Order. The audience always laughed. But as soon as I started working at arguably the most notorious jail complex in the United States, I learned two lessons very quickly. One, there is no DA Jack McCoy who's going to come in and save the day. And two, if you weren't traumatized before you got to Rikers, you sure as hell will be once you get there. So, here are 3 facts about health and correctional facilities, i.e. jails, prisons, and detention centers. 1. Incarcerated individuals are disproportionately impacted by disease. They have higher rates of chronic diseases such as heart disease, asthma, and diabetes, as well as infections such as HIV, hepatitis, and tuberculosis. U.S. jails and prisons are also the nation's largest addiction and mental health facilities. 2. Addiction is rarely treated. Despite the high prevalence of substance use disorders at correctional facilities, people behind bars rarely receive treatment. Very few jails and prisons offer methadone or buprenorphine, which are first-line treatment for opioid addiction. Instead, they suffer alone in their jail cell with extremely uncomfortable withdrawal symptoms, writhing in pain, body aches, chills, sweats, vomiting, and diarrhea. All of this can be prevented with medications. Rikers, interestingly, is one of very few jails that offers evidence-based treatment, both medications and counseling. 3. There are barriers to receiving health care. The sad reality is that jails and prisons are not good places to receive care. According to the Prison Policy Initiative, correctional health care is often low quality and difficult to access. It's also expensive. Most prisons, shockingly, charge incarcerated people a copay to see a doctor. Crowding, social isolation, lack of activity, and poor air and water quality also make people sick. So why is there so much inequity and injustice in the U.S. criminal justice system? Inequities exist at every level. Here are 3 facts you should know. 1. Mass incarceration. 1 in 3 adults in the U.S. has a conviction record, which is nearly 100 million people. Since 1973, the prison population has grown 500%. This is known as mass incarceration, a growth in the U.S. prison population as a result of deliberate government policy. Mass incarceration results in poor physical, psychological, and economic outcomes for people involved in the justice system and their families. 2. Black and brown people are disproportionately affected. Black Americans are given a prison sentence at 5 times the rate as white Americans, and 2/3 of the people awaiting a death sentence are people of color. Native Americans are incarcerated at state and federal prisons at 4 times the rate of white Americans. And 3, extreme drug policing. More people are arrested for drug possession than for any other crime in the United States. Black adults are arrested for drug possession at higher rates than white adults in every state. The archaic and racially driven war on drugs grossly inflated incarceration numbers in the US, predominantly for Black Americans. The drug war also made it much riskier to get drugs for people who use. Addiction is a disease of the brain, not a moral failing. People need access to treatment, not punishment. The music and entertainment industries care about justice-involved people. Kim Kardashian launched a podcast, The System, about the wrongly convicted. Jay-Z, Meek Mill, and Kevin Hart helped raise $24 million for criminal justice reform for Reform Alliance. So what can you do to reduce health and treatment inequities within the justice system? These are complex issues, but you can make a difference. Learn more about racial inequality and mass incarceration in the US by reading The New Jim Crow by Michelle Alexander and Just Mercy by Brian Stevenson. Watch the incredible documentary 13th, directed by Ava DuVernay. You can also learn from, donate to, or volunteer with organizations like the Drug Policy Alliance, the Sentencing Project, the Marshall Project, Equal Justice Initiative, Prison Policy Initiative, and the Legal Action Center. Well, that's all for today. Here's your joke of the day. Why should you never play poker at the zoo? Too many cheetahs. Be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel, rate comments below, and follow my Instagram at healthhumorharmony.Dr. Roy. Be well. I'll see you soon.